So, the rant today is going to be slightly all over the place, as per usual. I mean, I think you're used to that at this point. Um, I've done a few videos at this point that have gone out that have had some like overlays, music, what have you. Uh, YouTube is real quick to tell you that those can't be monetized. So I will still be doing those like reaction things. I'll kind of see how that goes. If they're just not monetizing them, then what I'll have to do is, through Patreon and other things, figure out a way to, put out the content where it's not going to have that kind of claim on it. But doing those sort of reactions, editing things together, I actually do enjoy doing that. So I am going to keep putting those things up, so long as they don't get strikes. If they start getting strikes, companies start saying, hey, if you don't take this down, like we're destroying your channel, I'll just stop doing it. I'll just put them up on Patreon or somewhere else. The rant today, though, is specifically over the most recent song that Lil Nas X put up. I am not going to be playing the song. I have absolutely no idea how the production house that owns the music, or the people that helped with like how Columbia or Sony or like anyone is going to handle, like if I put up like a clip of the video, or I put up some of the music or an image or something. God, I'm not doing that. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of talk through what I've heard, since I've heard the song and I've seen the video, and then what I've seen as far as people that I've seen that have done reactions to it. So it's going to be a little different, because you've seen the reactions and, the, let's just say, very aggressive reactions that some people have been having to the video. And I'm just going to kind of talk through my thoughts as to why I think it's that way, and then kind of go through what my thoughts are on the video. So to start, I'll be completely honest. I never had a negative opinion of Lil Nas X. I heard, if I'm being completely honest, initially just the Old Town Road song, and then I heard Montero, and I think I'd seen clips of the video. I think it was more specifically because of the sneaker release, where it was like, oh, there was like a drop of blood in it and stuff, and that became like a big issue because it wasn't released to the sneaker company, and it was a whole thing. I personally have absolutely no issue with the music that he's put out, or anything that he does, really. Like I don't have a negative opinion of it. I think that people are, instead of judging based on the quality of the music, judging purely the persona, like who he is as a person. Like, they're not judging an artist, right? Like, they're not saying like, oh, this artist is doing something, here's the music, here is all the stuff they're doing, and that music is good, or lyrically it's good, or the musicality, or anything like that. They're not judging it on that. They're purely saying, this is a person, I do not like that person, and because I don't like that person, I'm saying the music is bad. And I feel like that's a very aggressive stance to take, because then you're admitting you're not listening to music anymore, you're just judging people. And to be honest, I mean, who are any of those people to judge? I mean, I get there's a culture that they're trying to hide behind, of like a very toxic, people have to be a certain way. If they're going to portray themselves in public, they have to be a certain way. I, from my childhood, am aware of situations where people said a lot of things that were just not okay, and it was seen as, well, everybody's saying it, so if everybody's saying it, then if I continue saying it, then it's not a bad thing. And I mean, it's still like there still is personal responsibility, right? Like you still have to take into account that you're a person who can think for themselves and form your own opinions, and it's not okay. Like the reactions I've seen, like if you watch through the reactions, and I get a lot of people are putting out there now, oh, that's not what I meant, you're taking it out of context, you're not understanding who I am as a person. What I would argue to that is that words have meaning, and when those same people would hear someone who is of a different race say something like, oh, well, I can't be racist because I have a black friend, or you don't understand these things, they say that's not okay, right? Like, they're like, that's not okay. Like, you can't just use the, oh, well, I know someone, so it's okay that I say these. Like, you still have to be responsible in both the things you're saying. If you have a face that is, forward facing, like, to people that are going to see what you're saying, and it's going to have some sort of an influence on them. Um, but musically speaking, and just because of artistry, like people being able to put art out there and it be interpreted, I get that there are going to be people that dislike it, but people are putting a lot of religious and personal ideology behind it and being very aggressive about it. Um, I get that people's response to me saying this or to the video itself will be, oh, like how dare someone put out a video similar to the ones that he's been putting out? It's too much. To that, I would argue, rap in the 90s. And like in the 90s. Like it was not okay. Like the way that women were portrayed, the term video girl, let's call it, was just kind of, that's how women were seen that were in the videos. They were just seen as like the groupies of the videos, and like they'd do anything to get on the video. Like it was not great. It seems a point to doing it. It doesn't seem like it's being done to be gratuitous in the sense of, well, I'm here and I can just do this because I just want to do this. It seems like it's more, okay, it seems like the industry that I'm in allows people to make choices. Like they're allowed to, because of the direction of the song or just the tone that I want to put out, I can make certain choices. And people have done this, and they've objectified women, and they've done X, Y, and Z for decades. So if I do the same thing, but because he doesn't date women, like he's not into women, it's men, and they're all consenting adults. It's all people that are choosing to do this. There's no one under duress that I'm aware of. Now, I will say this, that I'm aware of. I don't know every person that's been in the video to know, hey, you went out of your way to say, like, this is what you want to do. But to my current understanding, the totality of the circumstances as they are currently available to me, and if, in hindsight, I look at this video and we learn more information, it turns out it was under duress, that's not okay. I'm saying that preemptively. If it turns out that they were told to do it basically as a stunt and they were uncomfortable, that's not okay. Right? I'm not condoning that at all. But it does feel hypocritical to know all of the videos that I've seen. And again, I can't reference a lot of them because I don't need any of the music companies trying to claim, like I put up pictures and stuff and they're just like, all over the place. Like, we're taking this down. How dare you talk about us? So fine. I'll do it more as a generality of like the 90s and hip hop. It wasn't okay. I mean, there was a very popular song. I'm going to try and be general about this and see if people will get it. But there was a popular song with a Caucasian male that was singing, and there were women that were around him that were not dressed great, like they weren't fully clothed, and people were like up in arms about it. They were like, I can't believe that he's singing this song and he's objectifying women this way. But then it continues. It just, people keep doing it, and it's just seen as, okay, well, like that's just what the artist did. And now that Lil Nas X is doing something, it seems like it's being taken to a level above that of not only is it people being objectified, but then people's, again, seems like more religious and personal opinions, like their own personal issue with him as a person is being taken into account. Because a lot of the reactions that I've seen, and if it was done this way intentionally, the person that created the video and did the editing, they did it very intentionally. But if it wasn't and it was just happenstance, it seems to line up, because the scene that a lot of people tend to have the issue with, which is the shower scene that happens, and then the scene with Jack Harlow that happens right after that. When you watch a lot of people's reactions, the shower scene is seen in a very negative light. Jack Harlow scene, seen as completely positive. That's exactly what it should be. And it's just, it's hypocritical in a way that is just honestly absurd. Like it feels like at the point we're in history, and with the information that we have available just to everyone, like on our phones, computers, the computer that I'm currently recording this on, the phone that I saw the video on YouTube, it feels like a thought process that would have been more in line further back in history. Like people talk a lot now about, being progressive when it comes to social equalities and income equalities, but then they pick and choose, right? It's a lot of cherry picking. It's a lot of, well, it's so long as I'm comfortable with it. You know, like if somebody else wants something and I don't like that, don't give that to them. Like, that's not okay. I need to be upset about that. But if it's something I want, I don't care if it upsets somebody else. You need to do that because I'm saying that needs to happen. It's just very hypocritical. This video, again, because it doesn't have the music, we'll see how many people even listen to the entire rant. I do want comments back because I want to know people's sort of reaction that they had to the video. Their comments on what they think the reaction that people have had to it, like the where that stems from. Like if it's more of a, they really are just looking at the music and there's that's not good music, or if it's just a personal attack on the artist. And I get it. If you're an artist, you put yourself out there. I get it. Me just doing these videos, I'm putting myself out there. People can comment and say all sorts of terrible things. It's just kind of what happens when you put yourself out there. It just feels like a lot of the people making those comments, it's coming from a prejudged place. Like they're not actually taking into account like what they're seeing and then, you know, reacting or saying something. It's just like, oh, I know where this is gonna come from, and knowing that already, I can't. And it doesn't seem appropriate. I'm not an authority. Like I'm not like the king of YouTube to like tell people like how dare you do. I felt the need to say something, and I have, you know, I can make videos. Like I can say whatever I want. And no one's gonna stop me. I mean, I guess they could stop me if they take channel down, but like they're not gonna stop me if I have like an opinion about it. So like this is what I think currently. So if you have other suggestions of videos, stuff like that, let me know.